Okay, so I thought I'd show you my game system collection. It's not a really impressive one by any means. You know, there's so many videos on YouTube where people are showing like really massive, impressive collections that consist of really rare consoles. But I'm totally happy with what I've got. I don't buy consoles to collect. I just buy them to play games on. And to be honest, I don't really have that much desire to buy any other game systems. Maybe I'll buy a PS4 in a few years' time when the second-hand ones are even cheaper. I'm not really sure, but yeah, I thought I'd just make this video and show you what game systems I've got. So let's start off with the Atari 800XL. So I received one of these for Christmas of 1985. It's an 8-bit computer and I absolutely loved it when I was a kid. There's just so many great games on it. The games on it, they just have like, a lot of the games on it, they just have like a certain magic about them. And I still love the system now, I still love the games now, and it's got the added bonus of just being really nostalgic to me. So it is basically a computer, but it's like a games console at the same time because you've got your cartridge slot there for games, you've got like a reset button and a start button, you've got your joystick ports there on the side, and for its time it was a really powerful computer. Like it came out in around 1983 and it was a really powerful computer for its time, even though it was using late 1970s technology, so that's really impressive. You know, it's more powerful than the BBC, Acorn Electron, ZX Spectrum. It was probably about as powerful as the Commodore 64. So next up is the Nintendo 64. My mum bought me one of these back in 1998. I wasn't expecting it. I was at home, my mum came back from shopping and she pulled a brand new boxed N64 with a copy of GoldenEye out of her shopping bag, and I thought, wow, that's really cool. And I popped in GoldenEye, absolutely loved it, and I played it almost every day for about the next year. It's just such an amazing game, and it has the memory expansion as well. So I can't remember exactly what this does. I think it makes certain games look more sharper. So it's 64-bit. The only negative thing about the N64 for me is that there's not that many games that I like on it. I tried out so many games back in the day, games which looked appealing to me, but once I actually played them, they just didn't really do much for me. So there's only a handful of games that I like on this console, but that handful of games, to me, they are absolutely amazing games. So next is the Dreamcast. So this is my original Dreamcast. I got it in late 1999. Unfortunately now it's really yellowed and it won't read discs anymore either, so I'm gonna have to try and fix that. This is my second one, which I bought it as a backup Dreamcast in case anything happened to this. But this has ended up with a problem. It's the resetting problem, but I think it's easy to fix. I think all you need to do is either clean some pins inside or bend them a bit, something like that. And this one, it's not yellowed that much. It looks a lot better on top than this one. But the side though, you might not be able to see in the video because it looks almost white through the viewfinder, but it's like really, really yellow, just that kind of area for some reason. So yeah, the Dreamcast, I just think it's an absolutely amazing system. So next we have the PlayStation 2. I've got two slimline ones and one fat original. The original fat one I got in 2001, and the reason why I bought it was because, well, the Dreamcast had recently stopped being made, and I thought, well, I'm not going to be able to buy any more new games on the Dreamcast. And the PlayStation 2, that's out now, and it doesn't look like Sony are going to stop production anytime soon, so I should be able to still buy new games for it for several years to come. And also, Gran Turismo 3 looks really appealing to me, and Grand Theft Auto 3 looks really appealing to me as well. I just really wanted to play those games, so ended up getting a PlayStation 2 with a copy of Gran Turismo 3, and then around a week later or a couple of weeks later I bought a copy of Grand Theft Auto 3. I can remember going into the shop, picking up Grand Theft Auto 3 off the shelf, putting it onto the counter, and the guy saying something like, "These are selling like gold dust." And Grand Theft Auto 3, it's one of my all-time favourite games. There's just something about it, just something about the atmosphere. But yeah, eventually my fat PS2, it ended up dying, and I think I threw it away, and I ended up buying a PlayStation 2 Slim, and I think these are more reliable than the fat PlayStation 2. These are top loading, whereas the fat PS2's, it's got a disc tray which comes out. And I've got another slimline PS2 as well, which was given to me for free. Next we have the PlayStation 1. I never bought one of these back in the day. I actually bought this a couple of years ago. I remember at the time when they were current gen, everyone was going on about them. They were just like so popular. But when I played a few games on one, I wasn't that impressed. I mean, yeah, technically it was very advanced, you know, for its time, the 3D graphics and everything. But at the same time, the 3D graphics on a lot of games, they just looked really ugly and blocky. And I thought 16-bit games like Sonic the Hedgehog on the Mega Drive, to me, they were just a lot more aesthetically pleasing, even though they were technically inferior to the PlayStation 1. So I didn't really get what was such a big deal about the system. This one, it doesn't work perfectly. There's a problem with the TV output, and it's whenever there's anything 2D on the screen, like say the title screen, it's in 2D. There's kind of distortion there, but then when you're actually playing a 3D game, so what you're seeing on the TV is you know, you're seeing graphics that are in 3D, then the distortion isn't there. It's really weird. So I don't know what could be wrong with it. Maybe just a dead capacitor or something. I'm not really sure. Next is the original Xbox. This is an Xbox Crystal, and I just think it's such a nice looking console. It's very big and hefty. It's very heavy. It's transparent, so you can see like all the circuitry inside, and I just think it's really nice looking. The Xbox, it's supposed to be more powerful than the PlayStation 2, but to be honest, I mean, I've not played that many games on the original Xbox, but from the few games that I have played, they don't really seem to be, you know, technically they don't really seem to be that superior to PlayStation 2 games. The graphics don't really look that much better, really, so I don't know. So next is the PlayStation 3. This is the Super Slim. I prefer the way the original one looks, but the reason why I got the Super Slim instead of the original one is because I'm pretty sure the Super Slim ones are the most reliable and the original ones are the least reliable. And I was really late to the party with this as well. I only bought it about a year ago. So lastly we have my two handhelds. This is a Gameboy Advance SP, and it's a backlit one. I'll try and open it with one hand. So yeah, I don't think backlit ones were ever sold in the UK. I think they were only sold in America. I did try a non-backlit one, and the screen just looked so washed out and I couldn't enjoy playing games on it. I don't know whether all non-backlit ones were like that or whether there was just a fault with the screen on mine. But yeah, this is backlit. I had to import this from America, and the screen just looks really amazing on it. And then lastly we have the Nintendo DS Lite, which was it was given to me for free a couple of years ago. So yeah, that is my games system collection. Not really sure what else to say, to be honest. So yeah, that is pretty much it. Thanks for watching.